Discord is changing their username system and all of Discord is on fire right now, but is there a good reason behind doing this change, or will Discord go back to the old username system? Now the change is that instead of having a Discord username like Phoebe #8936, you now have a display name and a username with a little @ sign, just like a Twitter handle. Now we first need to understand why Discord would even do this in the first place, and of course they made this massive blog article that's written by the co-founder of Discord himself. So to first understand the change, we need to understand Discord's history. Back a long time ago, Discord didn't even have a friend system, so usernames really weren't a massive deal. However, as Discord grew and they had a friend system, they needed to make something called a discriminator, which is basically those numbers at the end of your Discord username, and this was used so that you could differentiate people with the same name, Phoebe, but they had a different number after it, a different discriminator. Now, the thing with this basic solution is that it's really not the best. As you know, Discord has grown to a completely massive social media platform, and this little solution of having little numbers at the end of your name has started to cause a little bit of issues. For example, if you wanted your username to be Mike or Jane, you couldn't, because there's already 9,999 people who have the Discord username Mike or Jane. So you wouldn't even be able to set that as your username, and you'd have to use numbers and letters, and then from there, it just gets complicated. And that was the biggest problem that Discord wanted to address. Our current usernames can often be too complicated or obscure for people to remember and share easily. Now, of course, I'm pretty sure that you're a very frequent Discord user. It's really easy to understand your username. However, with social media platforms, you always want to be as user-friendly as possible. You want the most number of users on your platform, so of course you can sell them that sweet, succulent Discord Nitro. And funny enough, Discord even posts statistics for you to realize how Discord is kind of confusing for people. More than 40% of you either don't remember your discriminator or don't even know what a discriminator is. And of course, this link leads to my favorite website of all time, r/Discord app, and it's a post from someone saying, "What is this code called?" So how's the new system now? Well, of course, if you actually wanted to figure out, you'd have to scroll through a whole bunch of backstory on how they figured out this system, but it's really basic. It's just copying off Instagram and Twitter. You have a unique alphanumeric username without a discriminator, so it's just @Phoebe, and you can use lowercase characters, numbers, and periods and underscores. Now, the unfortunate issue with this is that if you're someone that doesn't use alphanumeric characters, then those characters might be removed. So all the non-English speakers, your username, bye-bye. So that was the first of many issues with this update. So the next part of this update is that you have something called a display name. And of course, it's kind of confusing to understand what's going on. So I'm going to scroll down here to this nice, beautiful image. Basically, you have your username, which is like, your Twitter handle, but it's now for Discord, and you have a display name. Now, your display name can basically be anything as long as it follows the rules. So you can have non-Latin characters, you can have emojis, you can have spaces and all that stuff, and you could have the same display name as 100,000 people. There's no limit to your display name. Now, I'll admit it, Discord did a pretty good job at making this as easy to approach as possible, because what they're doing is that even if you have a username or a discriminator, you'll still be able to add your friends with their discriminator like normal, because it works as an alias. So just in case that cute e-girl that you might be stalking has a new Discord username, you can still add them with their old discriminator. However, this makes things extremely confusing when you combine it all together, because some people have a new username, some people have an old username, and it's going to be an absolute dumpster fire during the transition period, because people are just going to have different usernames. It's going to be even more confusing than the system we already have now. But once it's done, it'll be pretty straightforward. Now, I'll be honest, for anyone that's an influencer or a part of a large community and they're a large community figure, this is a very fantastic update, because you don't have to worry about impersonation anymore. So this feature is fantastic for like a very, very tiny fraction of Discord users. But what about the normal people that just use Discord? Does this new username feature even make sense, or should we all be revolting and asking for Discord to change it back? Change it back! So for normal users, the way that this update will roll out is that in the upcoming weeks, they'll start notifying users that you're able to update your account. And you'll see these pop-ups saying, whoa, look, you can update with this new handle thing. It'll ask for your display name, and then it'll ask for your username with that @ sign and all the little numbers or whatever you eventually get. Now, if you do miss this pop-up, Discord will give you a little warning in your account saying action needed, update your username, and it'll also be in the mobile app. But this is extremely important. You cannot get your new username until Discord gives you this pop-up. You can't use experiments. I tried already. And if there's anyone claiming to tell you how to get your username early, they are probably trying to scam you. For example, someone could say that they can reserve your username, and of course, they are scamming. And what they might do is they might steal your username and try to hold it for ransom. Of course, if this happens, you can report them, but just don't trust anyone with these new usernames. There's going to be scams all over, I promise you. But in terms of who gets picked first, there is a little bit of a hierarchy. If you are a Discord partner, it does seem like you will get a prioritized rollout, which means that you'll get prioritized versus all the other Discord normies that don't have Discord partner. I can act cocky like this because I don't have Discord partner. If I did, this would sound really bad. So this is good. That means less people are going to impersonate Discord partners. It makes sense. However, it's also bad because here's a deep little truth I haven't been talking about too much, but there are a lot of people that have Discord partner accounts when their servers are obviously botted. For example, this gaming guru guy, they have a big YouTube channel, but their Discord server has 76 online members and 38,000 members, and they have Discord partner. So these partners get priority first. And then from there, it goes a little more downhill for most people. This is where people get really upset. The older your Discord account, the sooner you will become eligible to pick a new username. For example, a user that has had their Discord account for 5 years will become eligible before a user who has had their Discord account for 2 years. And this brings probably the biggest problem that everyone is concerned about: people stealing your damn username. There's already a little bit of a demand for people trying to buy old Discord accounts, but that demand has skyrocketed because people are selling those 7-year-old Discord accounts like hotcakes, and there are going to be people that will try to buy partner accounts to steal rare usernames. And why would people steal rare usernames? Well, it's like buying designer clothes but on the internet. It's pointless garbage that people buy to flaunt their own ego. God, my opinion just seeped in there. But here's a fantastic example. This person here has a $50,000 Twitter username. Their username is @N. It's just one letter, and they've been offered as much as $50,000 for it, and this was back in 2014. And with the rise of NFT bros scamming the heck out of each other, I'm pretty sure the price of this username has probably tripled, because for some reason, dumb idiot morons now have more money than ever. Once again, probably because they were scamming people. And speaking of scams, baby, there are gonna be so many people that will try to scam for rare usernames. So if you're one of those people that have a popular username, think of something edgy like @devil or @evil. You are either going to have people that will try to buy it off of you for thousands and thousands of dollars, or in the more common scenario, you are going to become a target of a social engineering scam. They're basically going to try and convince you to give away your account so that they can steal it from you and either sell it or have their own fashion designer username for themselves so they can feel cool and good about themselves. But for some reason, if you do manage to grab a rare username and you do care, make sure to have multi-factor authentication and do not have SMS two-factor authentication. When you go into your Discord settings, you should not have SMS backup authentication. This is to protect yourself against SIM swapping, and of course, remove SMS two-factor authentication from all your other accounts and replace it with something more secure like app multi-factor authentication. So that's just like Google Authenticator. Now you might be wondering, what is the best way to make sure that you get notified as soon as possible when you can change your username to whatever the heck you want it? Well, according to Panley, the best thing to do is always look at the web and desktop clients because they get updated before the mobile client, and of course you will be notified in Discord when this update is available. Overall, things aren't looking too good. We have rare usernames that people are going to try and steal, and there's going to be scams almost everywhere on Discord. God, this seems like an awful feature, and this is why a whole bunch of people are angry because they can't get the username that they want. Now, if you're angry, I'm going to tell you how to take out all your anger. First off, if you bought Discord Nitro, guess what? You are being scammed by Discord because when you bought Nitro, you had the ability to change your Discord discriminator. But if you look at Nitro now and the perks that you get, there's nothing that's talking about that custom discriminator. What happened to it? You bought a feature that you can't use anymore. And that means refund time. So there will be a link in the description. It'll be called the Discord billing support page or whatever, and we are submitting a request. Now, this is the white page of doom and gloom from Discord Trust and Safety, but instead of talking to Discord Trust and Safety, we're talking to the big money boys at the billing department, and we are asking for a Nitro refund. Now, if you don't have Discord Nitro, you might be extremely tempted to just go on a Discord staff server and start pinging the staff saying, "This is bad, this is garbage." Please don't do that because this decision came from the very top. top. It came from the co-founders themselves. So if you want to show your dissatisfaction, what you could do is just downvote these articles. Now, of course, this specific article doesn't have any sort of voting system, so I will have another one linked in the description, the new usernames and display names. And if you scroll to the very bottom, guess what we have? A little survey. Was this article helpful? No. Now, do you want to know a little bit of insider knowledge? I know whether or not Discord will go back to the old system. But wait, first, how do bots work? I'm blueballing the heck out of you. So how will this update change bots? Well, it seems like Panley has a bit of a prediction saying that discord.py might have a little bit of errors, so just keep in mind there will be a lot of rocky stuff happening. Now, the way usernames work is pretty straightforward. If you're a developer, you can read deep into it, but all those popular bots will have the same username as their bot's name. And if you have an unverified bot, it's going to be a Wild West, because you're just going to have a randomly generated name. Good luck. Now, that's enough blueballing you. I'll answer the question. Will Discord go back to the old username system? And I hate to break it to you, but it's no. They're not going to, no matter what happens, unless there's a massive amount of negative backlash, but they are going to go through with this. Like they said in the article, this was a technical and product debt that they incurred years ago, and it finally caught up with Discord, and it's starting to make these small issues turn into big problems, affecting tens of millions of people. Discord wants to keep growing as a social media platform, so it's going to adapt its systems to be more user-friendly and more like every other social media app. Anyways, let me know your opinions in the comments, and you can do the YouTube button stuff that everyone says. Anyways, have fun updating your Discord and constantly looking to see whether or not you can get your silly little username. I love you. Bye-bye.